So if you haven't heard about the recent earthquakes that have been happening, there's this town called Ridgecrest, California that has been just being hammered by back-to-back nice size earthquakes. Now, it's actually kind of funny because I have a lot of family that lives there, and they actually came to visit us because they're trying to get out of there, and we're leaving too there. So my grandparents live there, they're still there. They've been hit already by 7.1 and like a couple 6s and a couple 5s and 4s. So this isn't normally what I'm posting on my channel. As you guys know, it's a hunting and fishing channel mostly. But I got a lot of family from Ridgecrest, and so I just want to go over there. I want to show you guys what's actually happening over there, because my grandparents' house, there's literally, I mean, their cabinets fell over. I have a deer head over there that my dad shot in North Carolina, fell off. All their china broke, things off the walls are shaking off. Actually there's a road that even pretty much broke in half. It's breaking up to pieces. So we're gonna go ahead and head over there and try to get some of it on film. Should be cool. I've only been in one earthquake personally, and it was an earthquake yesterday that came from Ridgecrest and pretty much ran through Vegas. The shock went through Vegas, and it was a weird feeling. So if you guys stay tuned and like keep an eye on the channel, we're gonna be filming at least 3-4 videos while we're there. And just in case things get really bad, we're going to be bringing a bunch of our king camp stuff with us just in case we have to sleep outside or something. So we're going to go ahead and head over there. Hopefully it makes good footage, and I'll see you guys in Ridgecrest. So I have everything I need right here. I've got a big tent, some sleeping pads, clothes, camera gear, everything I'm absolutely going to need. There's already food and water waiting for us over there, so everything we're needing is already packed up. We're ready to leave.
Sin City, outdoors is going to the earthquake.
To Ridgecrest right now. As you guys can tell, it's kind of like in a bowl, surrounded by a bunch of mountains. Now this area actually has a lot of earthquakes. They're very common. They've actually had the biggest earthquake they've had in over 20 years yesterday. In about the last hour, Ridgecrest and all the little towns around it have had about 40 to 50 earthquakes an hour right now. So that's why we're here. Every hour or so they're getting a pretty nice size one that shakes up the whole city. So notice there's people sleeping outside. Pretty much the whole town is shook up by these earthquakes. A lot of people are getting nervous, so they're sleeping outside. So we finally made it. It took about 3.5 hours to get here, so quite a while. So we're gonna go ahead and walk around right now, check it out. So pretty much everything's cleaned up, but this is that deer I showed you guys before. You guys can see he fell. Broke a couple tines off. So at least the city looks normal, but inside people's houses, things are broken. As you can see, this is the backyard here. There's a cactus. I'm not grabbing that. Knuckle. But yeah, everything's fallen over inside, off the walls, broken up, but everybody's left. People think that the whole town's gonna just sink, I guess, break off into the ocean as the myths have been going, but we're gonna go ahead and keep looking around, help clean up a little bit. So we just stopped by my grandparents' house, and then we stopped to get some food because we're hungry, but it's weird. Everybody around here seems in like they're calm, but it's like a calm and nervous mood at the same time. Everybody almost seems scared of the earthquakes, but they're very calm about it still. I guess everybody that stayed though is somebody that's used to earthquakes. So this is City Hall. This is where all the reporters and everybody's coming to film. So we're just gonna drive through and kind of film. ABC News, CNN, Fox, what is that, CBS LA. People taking pictures next to the sign. People visiting AT&T. Everybody's here right now trying to help out. As you guys can see, AT&T over here giving out waters and food and stuff. So everybody's here trying to help out. This is awesome seeing everybody kind of come together, I guess, and help. There's a VA place right there too, a little mobile VA truck. Inside the store right here, everything's falling. You guys see the carts are everywhere. The roof broke. Dang, the roof was breaking in there. The roof pieces fell all over the place. The fans fell all over. It's just a big mess in there. So this is the hospital here in Ridgecrest. This is the one all over the news also. They evacuated yesterday and moved everybody. So this is one of the most popular restaurants in Ridgecrest right here. This one's the one, if you guys have been watching the news on all the earthquakes here, you most likely saw on the news that everybody was running out of here. So we're coming up on Little Caesars here. One awesome thing that they're actually doing to help the community here. I think that they put out a post that if your house is damaged or if you're lacking food, then go ahead and come and get a free pizza. So they're giving free pizzas to people. You see there's a lot of people here trying to get pizza.
It's pretty amazing.
It's a pretty nice thing they're doing. It's an awesome act of kindness. So Little Caesars, really appreciate what you guys are doing. That's awesome work. So there's a lot of people here that maybe just moved here or are young and have never actually been in an earthquake. So there's like a really eerie feeling. There's a lot of people outside. The town seems pretty much empty. There's news people everywhere. There's cops everywhere. Fire department, ambulance. It's a really eerie feeling.
Yeah, I've never seen it this empty before.
There's a lot of people sleeping outside right now. They got their big old fifth wheel out, baby crib and everything. So we're at one of my aunt's house now. As you can see, they've been sitting outside also. Just a little safer when the earthquake happens to get outside of your house. We made it here to my aunt and uncle's house. It's my Uncle Kyle. He's actually got some crazy stories because he's been here the whole time throughout all the earthquakes.
So yeah, yesterday when the 7.1 hit, my son and I were actually fishing, and it was crazy to see it happen on the water line there, because we could see it, we heard it coming, and then we could see the earth move as it got closer to us, because I think it was like 7 miles from where we were fishing. It was the epicenter, and it travels like 2 miles a second. So we had like 5 seconds to watch it come and hear it get closer to us, and then to feel it. And it lasted a good, like a minute. It was almost a full minute. We were just standing there, and everything's just shaking back and forth, and the whole reservoir, it's like a little lake, is just sloshing back and forth. Big old white caps in the middle of this lake in the middle of the desert. It's like we were at the ocean all of a sudden. It was crazy. Oh, and then we had a triple hookup right afterwards. I'm not joking. Me, Eric, and then Fabian, we like within like 2 minutes of the quake, we had a triple hookup, and we were all looking at each other like, was it the earthquake? Did it freak them out? Did it make them, bite? Whatever. It was crazy. Totally different experience to see and feel the earthquake out there in the middle of nowhere. Way different. It was cool though.
So how about your house? Any damage here?
Tons of stuff broke off all of our shelves are empty, and everything fell and broke. Like one hairline fracture, like one small like hairline crack. We weren't really expecting to have another big one, even though they said it could happen.
That is weird how it happened. Usually when you have a big earthquake, it's like a bunch of smaller aftershocks. And this time we had a big one, a bunch of tiny aftershocks, and then another big one. So I don't know how rare that is, but it was pretty awkward. I've never seen that happen before.
Well, and what's crazy is one of the scientists said that if we keep getting small aftershocks, that means the pressure's staying here in California, and it hasn't released to other parts of the country because of the plates and stuff. He said if we start seeing smaller earthquakes in Texas and like moving east, that means that's good and the pressure is being released. But as long as we keep having them here, it's likely to have another big one.
They're saying 8.1. I don't know how realistic that is, because that's a 300-year earthquake is what they're saying. That happens every 300 years.
Once every 300 years.
Something like that, so.
Well, an 8.1 is literally 1,000 times stronger than the first one we had. It's the 6.4, like right around there. It's about 1,000 times stronger. So that could be catastrophic if we had something that big. My neighbor's RV moved like 5 feet.
Did it?
They said they watched it like jump and bounce like 5 feet on the concrete.
Is it true they sent National Guard units?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, we saw their trucks.
Hopefully that'll prevent some of the looting, if there is any looting happening. Looks horrible for a city when that happens. People just taking advantage of a natural disaster. It's not good.
So the one thing I learned here is fish during earthquakes, huh?
I'm not lying. We were getting bites right afterwards. It was like dead for like 45 minutes before. Like they knew it was coming or something. I don't know. And then all of a sudden it hit and it was just like bam, 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 bam.
About 5 minutes ago, it was a 3.5 site, like, I don't even know what they call it, magnitude earthquake. I didn't even feel it, but they said it was a 3.5. You felt it, right?
Yeah.
Barely shook us, and it was a 3.5. So unless there's something huge, I guess I won't even notice because I was sitting here, didn't even feel anything.
All right, real quick, guys, before we go to bed, we're actually going to be sleeping in this room. It's very weird because we were at Ariana's house, and the floor down there in the bottom of the valley is moving. You can feel the small earthquakes, like up to 3.5 pass, and it's very subtle movement. But up here, like we came back up on top of the hill where Adrian's grandparents live, my parents, and the ground is literally like, it's like you're on a boat.
It's constantly moving. Like we're standing here, and then it's instantly walked in. And we're like, whoa! It's like it's a very slight movement, but it's enough for you to feel unbalanced. It's like it's swaying in one direction too, like this.
It's a consistent movement. It doesn't stop. It feels
like you're moving slowly, like this, like you're on a little, like a big cruise or something. I imagine.
It's exactly like a cruise ship.
It's just a slight sway.
So we just wanted to report that it's not even really stopping. It's like continuous. It's
if
creepy.
If you stand still and think about it for a second, you can see why you feel like a little off balance. It's just like a little flow.
It's weird. We're making a game plan right now. We said the strongest part of a house is under the door jamb. So we're like, okay, we're gonna come right here. And right as I was talking about it, everything started shaking. That was creepy.
You can hear it coming.
Man, the hairs on my back stood straight up. You could hear it coming down the hill from the mountain, and it literally passed through here like a train. Mm-hmm. It's hard to even describe, and it shook the ground. That one was only like 3 seconds to 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was like a wave.
But it's continuously swaying in here, like we said. That one, you could literally hear it coming down the mountain. That's...
I kind of hope they would stick around for a while so we can use.
Man, that stood the hair on my back straight up.
Literally, we're just getting ready for bed, getting shoes ready. You always gotta have shoes ready, just because windows break and stuff. That was almost like in a scary movie, when like a demon supposedly runs through the house. Like,
yeah, that was scary.
And the whole house shakes in like in a little increment.
All right, so we're gonna try to catch one. If we wake up on time, we're gonna try to just catch one.
Or if one wakes us up.
Yeah, one wakes us up, but we're hitting the sack. We're so tired. People in Ridgecrest literally haven't slept in the last 48 hours. My sister, the bags under her eyes are just ridiculous. I mean, she hasn't slept. Everybody's feeling this. Just terrified. It's creepy.